Do you have a problem with swearing, with lying? Do you have a problem with exaggerating? Do you have a problem with boasting, gossip maybe? You see, these things, these habits don't come out of nowhere. These addictions don't come out of nowhere. They come out of an overflow of what we let into our hearts. You see, if you swallow, if you drink, if you consume poison, what is going to happen the minute you are shaken, the minute you tilt the glass, you are going to overflow with poison. So this is why we need to protect our hearts. This is why we need to stand under the flow of God's mercy, the flow of God's love, and away from the poison, the people, the situations that bring poison, that bring dirt into our lives. It's like having a glass of water and pouring this into this glass, just dirty water, poisoned water. And it's dirty, and again, what we say, what we do, when someone tells us something bad, we get upset or we find ourselves cornered, the first thing that's going to come out is the poison that we have consumed, that pours out into the world. But what we need to do is to stop, to allow ourselves to be placed under the water flow of God, God's fresh water. And as He pours this water, this glass starts to overflow, and with it the dirt before the foot of the cross. We can turn to the Lord and ask the Lord to take this dirt, to take this mess from our lives. And God is not disgusted, not disappointed. He's the one we need to turn to with our mess. He's not going to think any less of us. He's not going to love us any less. God is the one we can go to with our brokenness, and He will love us unconditionally. And as that starts to overflow, even as we do this, people will still throw dirt into our lives. Poison will still come our way, because just because you follow Jesus, it doesn't mean that your world is going to be perfect. But if you stay under the flow of God's love, even that poison cannot stick to you, cannot stay with you, because you're overflowing. The dirt keeps coming out until eventually you're washed clean. Till eventually, all that people see when there's reactions, when there's things that happen, is not the swearing, it's not the lying, it's not the addictions, it's not the lust that comes out, but the purity of God's love. What overflows from your heart? What is the first thing that happens when things go wrong? Just a few days ago, I was in my car, driving my car, and I nearly crashed into the car in front of me, and I slammed down the brake, and I'm skidding towards the car in front of me, and I'm thinking I'm going to hit this car. But vocally, maybe in the past I would have sworn, I would have said words that were not good for this homily. But instead I cried out, Jesus, Jesus, my Lord, my Lord. I found myself saying those things, and I'm thinking, wow, you see, we spend time in the presence of the Lord. What is going to happen is we're going to overflow the name of Jesus, the power of Jesus, the salvation of Jesus, the breakthrough of Jesus. So spend time with Jesus. Spend time in the flow of God's love. Allow Him to purify you, to sanctify you, to take away the poison in your life.